You might be wondering, what is it about Joel Osteen that has over 10 million people tuning in worldwide and listening to him on a weekly basis? What has he uncovered, and why is that everything he touches prospers? What secret has he uncovered that allows such favor to reign on him and his family? Well, stay tuned, because while you may not be surprised by the answer, his story and events that led him to present time just might be a revelation. So, let's not hesitate another moment as we take a further look into Joel Osteen and the reasons as to why he is so blessed. In order to better understand the context of Joel's blessings, it is first important to review the chain of events that has led him to a life of ministry and service. Joel did not wake up and want to become a pastor, minister, or televangelist. He did not seek this path as his calling in life. He did not desire to pastor a church, but how is it that he is pastoring one of the largest congregations in the world, Lakewood in Houston, Texas? How is it that he is seen by millions each week? Is this divine intervention? Well, you be the judge. Joel was born into a family where his father, John, came from humble beginnings. John Osteen was a farm boy who left home at an early age because he felt a tug at his heart to pastor. He was flat broke with no church, no leads, and no resources. That did not stop a young Osteen. He began a church called Lakewood in the late 50s, where he began shepherding. With varying degrees of success, the congregation varied in size from 90 parishioners to about 6,000 strong. As Joel became older, he decided to work for his father behind the scenes in a TV production capacity, helping to prepare his father for the weekly television broadcasts. He thrived at it and really enjoyed making his dad look good while on stage. During that time, Joel's father tried to coax Joel into getting on stage, but it was always something that Joel avoided. He was not comfortable. He was afraid of public speaking, but God had other plans for him, as time would soon reveal. As we turn the page to the 1990s, John Osteen becomes ill and passes in 1999. Suddenly, Lakewood has no leader, no shepherd, no face. That's when God touched Joel's heart. It was at that moment, though petrified of the prospects of ministering, Joel knew that it was his responsibility to carry the torch. He exhibited every feeling of insecurity one could display. He didn't have any formal training in ministry, no theological background, no presence on stage. He was also afraid of public speaking, but he knew he could not let his father's legacy die. Hence, what did Joel do? He stepped out in faith, even though he was deathly afraid. Now, we raised the question at the onset of the video as to why Joel is so blessed. Well, it is by no mystery that when you step out in faith, God goes to work. As Joel tried to keep things together, he was praying that he could simply maintain the 6,000-member base. What he didn't realize is God had much grander plans for him. Let's check the results. 1999, Joel inherits Lakewood and a congregation of roughly 6,000 members. 2005, Joel conducts a 15-city U.S. tour preaching to massive crowds, and later that year, Lakewood opens a 16,000-seat megachurch, compact center, former basketball and hockey arena. 2016, weekly attendance grows at Lakewood to 50,000 members strong. 2018, Lakewood's televised services steadily reach 10 million strong. He also goes on to publish several books. So, how does one person achieve all this success? On his own accord? By his own doing? Was he simply at the right place at the right time? Perhaps, but Joel knows better. It is not by his strength that he is able to achieve these things. It was by God's graces. So, The question you're asking is, why would God want to bless him with this much increase and success? The answer is simple and complex. Joel often cites that in order for you to step into the fullness of your destiny, you have to get into agreement with God in all things. Not some things, all things. You have to keep God on his throne and allow him to be God. Who can do it better than God? Sadly, oftentimes when things don't happen on our timetables, we either fail to trust or we feel as though we have to intervene. When we do, we remove God from the throne and step out from under his protection. Rather, look to Joel. He's figured these simple principles. 1. Honor God in all you do. You cannot remove him from the throne and from his divine power. 2. Speak words of faith and success. You cannot speak words of defeat and think God will bless you. Want to get God's attention? Speak bold prayers. Ask big so you can receive big. 3. You must understand the principle of sowing and reaping. Want to reap a big crop? You can't reap if you don't take time to sow. Hence, what are you sowing? When you think of the Osteen family, Joel's father sowed for 40 years. Joel sowed for over 20 years. So, is it possible all this sowing has produced a crop of unbelievable bounty? Did Joel receive a generational blessing because of his father's sowing? The answer seems to be undoubtedly yes. 4. Consistency. Yes, consistency. Joel is consistent. He is consistently giving God glory and honor, consistently giving him praise, consistently acknowledging him for his goodness, even when things don't make sense, even when things don't go as planned. Joel knows when you trust God unconditionally, even when you don't understand, God will bless you beyond your wildest dreams. But you need to get into agreement. You need to trust. You need to have faith. And you need to be the best in all things. So, after review, when you look at the tremendous success Joel has achieved, can it be simply tied back to God? Yes, that's what we believe. But then again, you have to judge for yourself. Still not sure? Just watch a TV broadcast, listen to a podcast, read a book, or listen to him on the radio. If you do, he might just change your life forever. Joel has an uncanny way of revealing God to us in present day. He provides great hope, great inspiration, and a closeness to God. Has God blessed him abundantly for this? Well, it seems pretty hard to ignore the results. So, drop us a note in the comment section and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Lastly, we sure hope you enjoy this video and a deeper understanding of Joel and his backstory. If you like this video, please don't hesitate to share it with a friend. We at Bring Your Best are always trying our best to bring out the very best in you.